Isaac Cotto when the kid plot. Yo, we can't stop, man. Y'all know we the baddest. We give it 100, no capping. Welcome to Stop the Madness. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Stop the Madness. I'm your host, The Kid Plot. My co-host, Isaac Cotto. Yes, we are back in the building with another great video. But before we get started, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications bell so you're notified. Cotto, what are we talking about?
We're talking about the Caitlyn Jenner.
Oh, man. Hey, that's a pretty polarizing topic.
Very, very popular transgender individual.
Yeah.
There was a recent press conference. I don't know how old it is, but I saw he did a press conference. And I was surprised on the topic, and I wanted to react to the video once I saw the title. So let's take a look. Apparently, the setting is somewhere in New York, a county in New York, wanted to stop trans male athletes competing against females, and the Attorney General of New York was gonna do something, and they went to federal court and got an injunction, which basically stopped whatever the Attorney General wanted to do, and basically let them separate or stop the males competing against the females. And then they held a press conference about it, and Caitlyn Jenner's there. So I wanted to hear what Caitlyn had to say.
I see.
Biological males who identify themselves as females have other outlets where they can compete. They can compete against other biological males. They can compete in a co-ed league. They can compete in a transgender league if they choose to form one. But we feel that it's not a level playing field when biological males compete against women. It's not safe because biological males are bigger, stronger, and faster. And I'm very, again, very happy to have this American hero with us. Not only just a hero in athletic competition, but a hero standing up for principles and things that she believes to be right, and not being afraid to say what she feels and to say it very forcefully and very strongly. So without further ado, I'm very happy to welcome Caitlyn Jenner to our county, and I'm going to turn the floor over to her.
Mind you, he's legit 6'4".
Thank you very much, Bruce. By the way, a good name.
Well, isn't that his name?
Yeah, Bruce Jenner.
Bruce Jenner.
In 1976, I won the Olympic decathlon, was declared the world's greatest athlete, and I did it in world record performance in Montreal. And the reason I say that is because I have been around sports my entire life. I have seen every aspect of sports. I have seen the valleys, I've seen the peaks, I know the politics, the athletes, the coaches, the governing bodies, the media, the owners, the advertisers. I've worked with everybody. I have witnessed the growth in opportunity and protection in women's sports, specifically in this country, with the adoption.
All right, pause it right there real quick. Just for those
he forgot to add more estrogen to his body.
Well, I mean,
his voice,
his damn near 60-something years old.
His voice sounds like a man.
Yeah, he's 60-something years old. But if you haven't, I think it's on Netflix. There's a biography about him on Netflix. The dude was the athlete in the 1970s, late 1970s. I mean, the picture of a human physical specimen, male specimen, on the cover of Wheaties. Yeah. If anyone knows about athletic competition, this is gonna be this man.
Well, let me be respectful.
Right.
She does.
She does. Yes. All right.
Continue.
In
1972. Now, let's kind of move forward about 50 years, and I have shared my struggle that I have dealt with my entire life with gender dysphoria. I decided to live my life publicly. I had no choice. I was a public figure as a trans person. I have empathy for all LGBT people, and I have a thorough understanding of all the struggles, no matter how different our circumstances may be.
Notice how he said LGBT people. He didn't include the Q.
I mean, that's cute.
That
queer,
man said,
that's queer.
I don't know. He ain't.
I don't think he
nah, he ain't that queer.
Hard to come.
He didn't add queer. He said lesbian, bisexual, trans,
So what's
and gay. That's it.
What's queer? I don't know.
I don't know what the fuck is queer, but he ain't at it.
All right. So
He
queer,
ain't
I
at
think,
it.
is
That's
like,
all I know. He
you're kinda
ain't at
gay.
queer. Queer is some weird. The
Queer
super
just
weirdos.
means you're just kind of gay.
Queer is those motherfuckers that are men, look like women, and then they act like, but they like guys. Who the fuck knows what they are?
Yeah.
They're just queer.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
In this country and in the world, we're at a crossroads. Athletic governing bodies, judicial systems, executive actions, legislative bodies are all grappling with how to handle the topic of trans athletes. It's on a massive scale. Specifically, the biological realities that exist that provide for advantages and even lead to physical harm when trans women or biological males compete in sports against women. In the United States, we have a president, Joe Biden, who has called for an amendment to Title IX as we know it. In effect, erases the protection and the hard-fought battles that women have fought in sports. In New York, we have an activist Attorney General, Letitia James, that alleges, and it seems to think that her state laws and preferences supersede federal law, specifically Title IX and the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, which guarantees no state shall deny a person equal protection under the law. When I competed in 1972 and 76 Olympics on behalf of the good old US of A, there was a clear problem. Some of you more mature people out there may remember this, but we had the East German women. We had the Soviet women.
All right.
At that time,
pause it there. So he's gonna be talking about doping, just like Rocky IV. Drought, Rocky's out in the woods chopping wood, getting in shape, and all you see is Drago getting the needle.
Yes.
Post workout.
By the way, Rocky IV was one of the best.
Dope.
Rocky.
It's my fight.
That's one of the best Rockies for sure.
But yeah, so back in the 80s or whatever, like doping for the Russian athletes, the Eastern Bloc athletes was super huge.
Yes.
All right, go ahead. Let's continue.
I don't know, most of them you didn't even identify. You looked at them, you didn't know what you were looking at physically as women. Let me give you a brief little story. My last lifting workout, 5 days before I competed in Montreal, I go to the gym in the village, and I am pumped up. I've been lifting weights heavy for 12 years. This is my last lifting workout. I'm going to max at every lift. And in walks this girl, massive size. She was an East German discus thrower. Huge. I mean, honestly, the pimples on her back, the whole thing, you know something was going on here. This girl outlifted me so bad it was a joke. And I said to myself, I got to get out of this gym. I got to try to win the games in 5 days. And the women are outlifting me in there. But that's what we were dealing with back then. Now, it is also a simple solution instituted by the IOC, and that is saliva tests showing the DNA of the athletes. Women have to be XX. And it is done in a manner to protect the integrity of the competition. Today, the problem is even more clear. Trans women are competing against women, taking valuable opportunities for the long protected class under Title IX and causing physical harm. The difference between men and women exists based on DNA or your chromosomes, which leads to our physical development regardless of a trans person's hormones, surgeries, status in transition.
Facts.
There are massive advantages and undeniable differences from male development, basically going through male puberty. The solution is simple. when it comes to athletics, participation, with the biological sex, you have to compete in the biological sex that you were born. This is critical to protecting the integrity of competition in women's sports.
Okay, pause right there.
And
I mean, I think this is again. This is just a common. This is the cis person. I mean, the trans person.
Yes.
I think
probably the most famous trans person in the world.
I don't know how, but one woman of the year.
Yeah.
Right. And if anyone knows about athletics and being trans, is Caitlyn Jenner, that at 60-something years of age went ahead and made the decision.
Yeah.
He's speaking facts.
And I'm going to be respectful. Don't call her he. I'm going to be respectful. Caitlyn Jenner, she, is literally has common sense. He's literally, she's, I freaking messed up myself.
It's hard.
It's just so hard, man. It's just so hard. It was unintentional.
Yes.
I just said be respectful when I call him a he.
Yeah.
God damn it. What the hell's wrong with me? I apologize. She is literally like giving you common sense. Like, listen, this it's not fair. A biological man should not compete against biological women. It's really that simple. It's not complicated. It's not rocket science. It's not. It's not fucking calculus.
And Title IX was a federal law that was put out to protect women to get fair and equal treatment in the sporting realm.
Jeez.
And here you go, when you're putting male athletes to compete against female,
statistics.
It's not equal. All right, let's watch a few more minutes of what Caitlyn Jenner has to say, and we'll wrap it up.
Example of these circumstances, well, they're endless. I cover these stories, it seems like on a day-to-day basis. This issue has no bounds. It's worldwide. It's all over the U.S. at all levels of sports and every types of sports. I have covered swimming, golf, biking, track and field, hockey, football, boxing, basketball, and today I'm going to add a new one, volleyball, to the list. One of the plaintiffs in the county's lawsuit is the Mullen family. Now, the Mullins, actually they're here, Mark and Janine, have a 16-year-old daughter who plays volleyball. Earlier, you may remember this on TV, in North Carolina, a high school girl volleyball player was spiked by a biological man in the head, causing her to fall to the ground with neck injuries and a devastating concussion. She recently made headlines when she testified in front of the North Carolina State Legislature, saying, "I may be the first to speak on this subject before you, but I'm not going to be the last." The Mullins family's daughter should not have to be worried about being the next person to have to speak out about this matter. We need families to speak up now.
Go ahead, pause it right there. And I think we've mentioned that. Like, it's to the point where the parents, right? So, you got a girls basketball team and there's 12 players and 4 of them are starting and the 4 are male. Guess what? Every parent that has a female that's riding the bench because there's a male point guard and a male center, like, everyone just boycott all the female sports.
100%.
Say if you have a male playing on your team, I'm boycotting all the sports.
And
if all the parents did that, there would be change.
But unfortunately, they look at it as that's not a male, that's a trans female. And if you're honest and if you're realistic and you're fair, you would realize that is a biological male. Period. Biological male means you were born a man. If you were born a man, I don't give a flying fuck what you inject, what you do. Doesn't matter to me. You could cut off every freaking male particle of your body. Doesn't matter to me. You're genetically a man. Period. You can cut off your freaking penis. You can cut off your freaking arms. You can cut off your fucking head. You're still a man, even if you're dead.
And when they find your bones and they dig up your bones, they're gonna know this was a male.
Exactly.
I mean, it's that simple. But like I said, man, the mere fact that you got Caitlyn Jenner speaking truth, common sense to this topic says a lot. So we'll see what happens.
She gets the ding.
But hey, if it keeps happening, we're gonna keep talking about it because I'm of that this cannot happen. This needs to change. So if you like, please subscribe. If you agree, disagree, comment below. Let us know. We see y'all next week, man.
Peace.
If you like this video, subscribe to the channel and click here. If you want to see more videos like this, click here.